everyone, welcome back to Baker Reacts to TikTok Fails. I've tried saying that so many times and this is the first time I've actually said it correctly. I'm a little bit nervous for this one because first of all, I haven't picked these videos, and second of all, the last video did really well, so if this one gets views, I'm gonna you get me? Other than my slight panic right now, I am actually looking at the thumbnails of all of these videos on my gorgeous iPad right here, and I am terrified for some of them, so let's get into the first one. First video. We are chocolate dipping strawberries. I wouldn't necessarily count that as baking. Oh, okay. Oh my. Basically what's happened here is they have too much oil in their chocolate, whether it was the chocolate itself is quite cheap and they've just added loads of oil to make it, affordable to make. Other than that, they might have added oil to it to thin out the chocolate. That's not going to help either. It's just going to make it slip off the strawberry. What I would do if you really want to thin chocolate out, you can add, now don't follow this too much. You can add water. If you're going to add water to chocolate, you have to make sure they're the exact same temperature and they should both be quite warm, and then add it in while the chocolate is not on the heat. You can add oil. I've never actually particularly done it myself. Chocolate should be okay to cover strawberries on its own as it's melted if it is high quality. Obviously this one is not. Oh my god, that's terrible. Okay, video 2, the cheese. Oh, the phone! Oh, there's no saving that, buddy. Trying to scoop it with your hands as well. I like the way he lifted the phone to take it away and then he just put it directly back into the, well, lack thereof of a cheesecake. I don't know what went wrong here. It looks baked on top and obviously not baked in the cake pan. If you gave it any sort of a jiggle as it was coming out of the cake pan, you probably would have noticed that it was underbaked. Whether it's rage bait and they're just doing this because they knew it wasn't going to turn out, or if it's actually just a mistake, I am sorry. Either way, I wouldn't want to eat that. Oh look, a cinnamon roll. Okay, oh look, a cinnamon roll. A cinnamon roll. A cinnamon... Okay, I kind of know what's happened here. You get a gorgeous cinnamon roll because you obviously roll out the square and then you pull it back towards you and you roll it up into a circle, and if you cut from the middle of that roll, it's going to be a gorgeous spiral, but if you cut from the ends of the roll, they're gonna look like a cinnamon roll instead of a cinnamon roll. You can bake them, you just can't serve them. I personally bake them and then eat them, you know. I love story times.
And today she came over with a tray of brownies and she looked so excited.
I can already see.
I want you to eat the rest of these. They were so good.
I want you to eat the rest of these.
She was really insistent on me trying a piece in front of her. So you know what? I obliged. Because if y'all knew this lady, you would know, like, we must protect her at all costs. Okay. And the brownies actually tasted really good. I got a whole lot of extra
look a little bit
in my
fuzzy
diet right now because of all that fur. But I'm just saying, if I wind up dead, these brownies were a little sus.
Yeah. Sometimes what can happen in baking is you either use oven gloves or tea towels to take the tray out of the oven and hold it and cut it, and those tea towels can actually shed their fluff, especially when it's that white and that kind of coiled. It's probably not a hair, though my hair is very bleach damaged. It's not going to look like that when it's actually baked into something. Other than that, what I can think of is an animal maybe sat on it or brushed up against it. If she's a crazy cat lady, that could be another excuse. I wouldn't necessarily be eating that anytime soon. And if my neighbor was a little bit sus, I wouldn't be taking any food from them. Then again, it's probably just a tea towel. Okay, where all of our hard work actually goes. Oh, it is heartbreaking. It really is. They're in a pastry school, I can tell by their uniforms. A lot of food goes to waste, and it's horrible to say that and it's horrible to admit that to you guys, but half of what I make definitely goes in the bin. A lot of it gets handed out to staff. Sometimes we sell it upstairs in a shop in the actual pastry school. Most of it goes in the bin and it's horrible, and they're gorgeous, and yes, you want to keep it forever, but even in classes like I have, test baking, we're supposed to mess up. We're supposed to make ugly things, and it's to learn. It's a learning experience. Yes, it's horrible, but at the end of the day, we have to get some type of education. And yes, that might mean a lot of stuff is going in the bin. Okay, POV, you're trying to get into baking, but you're super health conscious and try to avoid sugar. Okay, yeah. A lot of baked goods have a lot of sugar, and I think I think her caption said she knows that it's obvious that a lot of baked goods have sugar in. It is quite shocking to see how much sugar goes into things. You don't expect, a sausage roll to have a high sugar content, but yet it kind of sort of sometimes does, depending on the baker making it. Yes, you can substitute sugar. You can use stevia, which is a type of, I believe it's a plant root. Don't correct me, or no, do correct me on that. It can be more sweet and less sugar. It's good if you have a type of diabetes where you can't have a lot of sugar or other health reasons. Fruit is quite a good substitute as well, but then again, to make fruit taste nice, you do end up adding sugar. There's no win in baking. It's always going to have quite a lot of sugar in, but if you're trying to be health conscious, there are alternatives. They never taste as good though. Okay, Marmorkuchen, and I believe this person is German, and they're saying, why did I fill it so full, or something like that. Yes, you did fill it too full, and it did spill out over the edges. Then again, if you're just serving this to your family, just slice it across the edge, and it should be fine. It actually looks gorgeous from the inside. Marmorkuchen is my personal favourite cake. If someone bakes me it, they're my soulmate. Yeah, you pretty much just filled it too full. The mixture looks great, it looks light, it looks fluffy, and at the end of the day, it's going to spill out over the edges, but those crusty edges taste really good. As long as you're not serving it to an actual bakery, you're fine. Okay, when you only have one cooling rack for your 4-tiered cake. Oh no! Oh, not where people sit. Oh god. Okay. That is terrible. It's so unhygienic, especially the one where people sit with their butts, and then also obviously on a plate drying rack. Don't do that. At the end of the day, you could just put it like on a plate and let it cool. Yes, it'll get a greasy bottom, but it's definitely more hygienic than whatever they're doing. This is why some people don't like eating at other people's houses. But if you're just eating it yourself, fair enough. I'm trying to justify this right now, and I can't. Buy a cooling rack. Cooling racks can be inexpensive. I think most of my cooling racks were like $1. I'm saying $1, it was probably €1 from like a pound shop. So, or another substitute is when your oven is cool, take the racks out of your actual oven and use them. But, I can't judge this person, but I am also judging internally a little bit. Oh my, it looks under. Oh, how does that even happen? How is the center like that? Okay, it is way too yeasty. If you're trying to make sourdough, you've definitely made it sour. Oh no, I have nothing to say about that. Everything is wrong with it. The crust hasn't got any color. Obviously the flour they used wasn't right, and then the center. Actually, the only nice part is the love heart on top. I do like that, but inedible is what I can say. Cake pops. I have to pause this. Cake pops are horrific. I hate cake pops. They're always far too sweet. You have a nice cake that you've baked and you just destroy it. It's like that one viral video of like bakers reacting to their breads they've made be turned into sourdough bowls. Did I say that right? Reacting to their breads being turned into soup bowls. There we go, they're San Francisco sourdoughs. It is just horrific. You've baked a gorgeous cake and you just... No, I don't agree with it, and I don't think cake pops are ever going to taste as good as a cake would. There are reasons bakers have them, and it's because of cake crusts and the bits we take off, but at the end of the day, I don't like cake pops, and I never will, and they're such a struggle to make. They always fall off the stick. There's no getting around it. I have never successfully made a proper cake pop, and I don't want to. It is tragic. Okay. Oh no. Yeah, it's not hygienic. I don't think a health inspector would agree with having one of them in the kitchen. Not only that it's not hygienic, the foam ball at the top of that gun actually is, it's foamy. And if any ingredients get into that, it's going to grow mold. It's so unhygienic. I get that you have the actual handle of it wrapped in cling film, but it's not going to make any difference because that's not the part even touching the food. What I also have a problem with is the actual fluff that's coming up from that. All of that is going into the baker's lungs. Now, it's actually part of the job. It's a comorbidity with the job that you're going to get baker's asthma from inhaling it, but that's just exacerbating the problem. you're just better shaking it like this. You can also wear a mask if you really need to, a proper one that's meant to stop the particles from getting in, but don't use a massage gun. I know it's a problem, and I know your wrists get sore, but it's not a proper way of solving the problem. Maybe if you rolled the top of it in cling film, but then you're doing it every time, there's so much plastic waste, and I don't know, it wouldn't be necessarily what I'd recommend for it. There's machines you can get that are very expensive, I know. It does look really handy though. POV, you're decorating a cake at midnight while half asleep. That dowel looks quite long. And you make your worst cake mistake. I literally just said the dowel looks too long. It happens, yes, and especially if it's midnight, you're tired, you just want to get the cake done, you don't check, and it's a disaster, and I'm sorry that happened to you. I'd probably be bawling my eyes out. How to get the perfect crack on your loaf cake. Pipe a line of butter down it. That's a lot of fat. Oh wow, you don't need to put that. You don't need to put that much butter on it. All you need to do is get a Scotch scraper or a flat scraper or even your spatula. You dip it into vegetable oil or a tasteless oil, and then you just bloop it in the center, and that should leave a thin line of oil. That's all you need. You don't need to pipe, oh my goodness, that amount of butter on it. Nature is healing. Oh no! Oh. Birds do tend to do that. They do try and get in. I've had a pigeon before in a bakery. Oh no. Okay, first of all, I hope they threw away all of that food. It should not be near the amount of diseases that birds get, especially on their feet. No, all of that food should be tossed. The bakery should obviously have some way of stopping birds getting in. I don't know how it did. It obviously flew over the counter in and under. Not fit to consume, and probably not good that they put it on the internet, because that poor bakery is going to have to deal with a lot of comments. Yeah, not good. They handled it in a way. They got a tea towel and they got the bird out, but yeah, I probably wouldn't eat there if I saw that happen. Until they had the proper safety procedures, then I would. God bless that poor bakery. Okay, we made it to the last one. POV, you made gluten-free cookies, but your dad put a piece of bread on top to keep it soft on accident. Oh no, I don't know why people put bread on top. I know it keeps moisture in, but what you could do is you could dampen a piece of what I call kitchen roll, what you guys call paper towel, and just put that on top if you really want to keep them soft and moist. Bread has a different use-by date than your cookies, so if it starts to grow mold, it's going to spread the spores onto your cookies. I'd cry. I really would. It's so sad because gluten-free, they look lovely. Gluten-free baking is so difficult, and when you make something perfect and here it comes, your dad ruins it, and it's devastating. Okay, it's my favorite part of the video personally. It's all of the cake fails you guys sent to me. Now these have a specific theme this time because last time we did just generalized fails. This time it is cake decorating fails, and we're starting off with the Shrek with a couple nose piercings. I don't get the theme. Personally, I don't hate it. It's not that bad. Compared to all the fails we've seen, it probably has some type of edible cake underneath, and that's an achievement for you guys. I appreciate the massive horn that you've given it, and the tiny ears, the massive eyes, and then the cake is just tiny. That is absolutely gorgeous but hilarious. I am so curious to know what happened. What happened to the other half of the cake? The other tenths of the cake? I don't know. It is so tiny. Why is it so small? I really like this one, and I included it because it's just abstract. I don't know what they were going for. Absolutely no idea what they were going for. And yes, maybe the icing spilled out because the cake was too warm, blah, blah, blah. I could go all baker on it, but at the end of the day, they got very bright colored icing, and that is good. I'm trying to find some positivity about this. It's just a fun cake, I guess. Why does it have 5 eyes? I don't know what they were going for here. And why is it still in its tray? It looks like someone chewed up the cake and then spat it out onto the plate and then tried to decorate it. It's so blue. Ooh. Okay, smiley faces with some type of brown sauce. That's not even chocolate, I don't think. It is chocolate. It's a very red coloured chocolate. You tried. You get one of those stars and everyone else gets awards and you get one of the stickers that says you tried. Am I being too cruel? They don't... I don't even know what they are. Are they cookies with a very, like, a cream cheese icing? Ugh. Ugh. The Lorax. Yeah, realistic. Very realistic. Why are his eyebrows below his eyes? Huh. Oh, another Shrek. Do they use chewing gum for the teeth? No, it's fondant. Are they blueberries for the eyes? That's actually quite creative. I don't hate it. I don't know what it looks like, a milfoy or like an ice cream cake. It's different. It's unique. It's abstract. A little bit terrifying too. Oh, that's really sad. The paper towels underneath, ready to catch the drips, the terrible quality of the photo. Yeah. I don't know even what they were trying to make. It's different. Another Lorax. Is he standing on a gravestone that says unless? And the trees are grey. At least his eyebrows are above his eyes this time. That's the only positivity I can find. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely terrifying. Is that supposed to be a lamp? That is cursed. That is terrifying. Oh my, the grip they have on that cake to show me the inside. It's very moist. It looks like a banana bread maybe. Yeah, it's very moist. What you do is you cut out an egg, or if you had added too much banana, that's probably what stunted its growth as well. Honestly, I still feel that if that's banana bread, that still might taste good. Maybe in my dreams, but yeah, just too moist. And also the grip. Oh, Bunt pans. Bunt pans are the death of so many nice cakes. I don't like Bunt pans. There are so many traditional cakes that use it in Europe and abroad. Yeah, Bunt pans, they just stick. Everything sticks to them. There's no proper way of greasing them without using heavy amounts of oil, and then no. I would still eat that though. Oh my goodness. Was there a tax on the amount of icing we're supposed to use on cupcakes? One has so much. That's for the person they love and have a crush on, and then the other one beside it is for the person they hate. Honestly, I'd do the same. And lastly, Nicki Minaj. Oh my goodness, it is beautiful. I love the color of the icing. It's very Nicki Minaj. I don't know what to say to you guys. You're pretty talented at baking, I think. Sometimes. Obviously the ones I'm looking at today weren't the best, and things happen in the bakery. I've made so many fails. At the end of the day, you just have to keep going, or you really keep going and you try and get a degree in it. Yeah, Nicki Minaj.